We don't wait for the rhythm to lead. We make the rhythm, we coach, we create, we lead the scene. Anything but routine.
All right, so today's podcast is going to be on helping coaches guide athletes on social media mindfulness.
I really feel like this is a hot topic and a really hard time to be coaching and a hard time to be a kid and to be an athlete. And I am so thankful all the time that I didn't have the social media access that kids have right now, because I just can't imagine the stuff I would have been doing.
As your mother, I'm also thankful.
Yeah, so I think coaches can play such a pivotal role in helping kids learn how to use, social media, AI, all of that stuff in an appropriate way. And I think what's hard is it's inevitable right now. Like, you're not going to be able to keep them away from it as much as I wish that we could. But I don't think that that's really possible at this time, so.
I was reading something. Social media isn't extra anymore. It's part of an athlete's brand and part of a team's brand. Mm-hmm. And I know I feel that pressure as a coach because I'm seeing these other teams that we compete with that are posting all the time really good posts. And I'm like, gee, Louise, I don't have time to do that, Mm-hmm. But it's important. But I think that let's just talk rather than the team branding about the athlete individually. It's really hard for them to control what they're doing at their age. We always talk about their frontal lobe isn't fully developed till they're 25. So they don't think through everything. And one post that they do without thinking can lead to suspension, lost opportunities on the dance floor, public backlash that may follow them for years. And even later when they're trying to get jobs,
right,
what they have posted may be brought up. Like, I see
you always tell that story that a family friend of ours that was going to it was maybe for a job interview?
It was a job as a district attorney.
Yeah. And as he sat down, they pulled up his Facebook page and started scrolling through it while he was sitting there. And so you think about some of the stuff kids are doing on TikTok and different things that might not feel like a big deal to them now, but it's going to be there forever.
Right. So
and I think it's scary.
So here's another thing to add to our list of already busy things we do as a coach, but coaches do set the standard. Mm-hmm. And you said earlier, kids will listen to their coach sometimes more than their parents. So this is where I do think we can make a big difference.
And talk to them about the dangers and the, like the ways that they can still use it. Like, you don't have to say you can't do it at all, but you need to think before you do it.
We also have to say, if our team culture is that we really on our team push accountability, you're accountable for your actions. And we're usually talking about on the dance floor and that type of thing. But if we are pushing accountability in that case, it's also online and when you're not at practice.
And I just think, their ability to like message each other and say hurtful things is so much easier now than it was when you had to like actually say it to somebody. So I feel like there's obviously a lot more of that too right now. So just, again, talking about that and like hurting people's feelings and what, so that they're not just doing stuff without thinking. They need to be thinking things through. Also be thinking, like, as a coach or a teacher, what your personal social media is telling your kids. Because I see this a lot where I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never post that. And I see like other coaches or other teachers that I know that I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just wild to me that you have kids following you and you're posting things like that.
Like, give me an example.
Well, I don't know, just like inappropriate TikTok dances with inappropriate songs, or provocative pictures of them in bathing suits and just stuff that you wouldn't want to see your athletes doing. You shouldn't be doing it either.
That won't be happening from me, I'll tell you that.
But I see it a lot, or see them posting like really like stuff that maybe isn't an inappropriate video, but the music that they selected to go over it is really dirty. And so I just think you got to think about that. Like, if you have a 10-year-old following you, what are they thinking when they see that?
Right. It is scary.
We had it with some of our own teachers where you see stuff and you're like, whoa. Yeah. You got to watch what you're doing. And I even have seen stuff where like coaches are in videos with their dancers, with their like team apparel on, to really inappropriate songs. And it just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. I think we've kind of sometimes have to take a step back on what is okay and what is not okay, because everything is starting to blend together. Mm-hmm. But I think as coaches, one thing we can do is set the standard, make it clear what you post reflects on our team. and have that talk with them before something happens. What you post reflects on our team. And they really have to think about that. So one other thing to just focus on is don't wait for a problem to happen. Try to hit this before a problem happens. Most of you are probably like, yeah, right, it has already happened. But lay out what's acceptable. Think about what would be things that weren't acceptable. I would say trash talking an opponent. I would say trash talking a judge or someone's coach or someone's routine or a teammate. I can't think any politics tied to the team or whatever.
I mean, I also think just for their personal self, like what they're posting, like, is it scandalous? You know, that kind of thing. I think that reflects on your team a lot as well.
And I think they need to realize that screenshots last forever.
Yeah, like they might think their account is private. Like I think a lot of kids have private accounts too, and they're like, oh, it's private, only my friends are on it. Your friends might not always be your friends. And that's the thing.
On you. They can turn on you. Yes.
And so I think that's a really scary thing for kids to think about too, is like, you might have this private account where you only have 20 people on there. Well, not all 20 people are going to always love you.
That's the next thing on my list. Private accounts aren't really private.
Right. And they're not, you know, like, yes, they might be, but they might not be. So you just never know. Like, somebody might want to take you down even if they are your friend. You just don't know.
And things change. Right. And, you know, you hear stories about one athlete getting caught for doing something and she knows there were other people there. So instead of just taking the lumps, she
tries to bring other people
down with her. I've heard that happening. And I mean, I would compare it to, you get a speeding ticket, so you want to turn in everybody that was speeding. You know, it's kind of like that, but they happen to get caught. But kids now have a method to be able to do that. AI is scary too.
Really scary. And I think we're just at the
just finding out
forefront of what's going to happen with AI. And I think that's really scary. And I've seen things where kids have, you know, taken a picture and AI'd it to make it look like something completely different. And it looks so realistic, which I'm sure you all are experiencing even in, like, on your own social media. Like, is this real? Is it AI? I don't know. And so I think there's a lot of that going on, which is really scary because they might not actually be doing something wrong, but all of a sudden there's this picture floating around where it looks like they are. So
are we going to need to add to our handbooks a section on posting and on AI? I would think so. So here's something: teach athletes to pause before posting. So give them these simple rules they can remember. And this is very important for all of us. Don't post when you're emotional.
Yeah, I see a lot of parents doing that too.
Like, my daughter didn't make the dance team. Here's a video of her. Don't you think she's great? And you're going, actually, I can see why she didn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're too emotional at the time. So don't post when you're emotional. Right after a competition. Don't ever post right after a competition. If you wouldn't say it to your teammate in the locker room, don't say it on social media. If you wouldn't say it to your coach, to her face, don't say it on social media. And always, athletes need to ask themselves, would I be okay with my coach, my parents, or my future employer seeing this?
Yeah, and I think a lot of times they don't realize that we do see it, even if they think we don't. You know, I think that happens a lot too. Or even back to that private account thing. You never know. It could get out there. So be really smart about what you're doing.
Help athletes understand ahead of time consequences, you know, without fear tactics. But it isn't about control. It's about protection for them. And talk through real outcomes. What could happen? Suspensions, media attention, you know, lost opportunities for scholarships. You know, a lot of these kids are really trying for college teams, you know, deals, sponsorships, all that kind of stuff. And
now you even hear about stuff where, like, kids get a scholarship or get, you know, something, and then all of a sudden something comes out and they get it taken away. So it's like, you don't want to cause yourself issues, you know, in the future from something you did when you were 14.
Yeah. And when kids don't trust each other and show discipline off the dance floor, it affects our trust on the dance floor. It affects our trust with each other. So here's some encouraging things and positive things they could do to use social media. What social media can do, it can help build their confidence.
It can?
Well, I don't know. I think it could if they posted something positively. I'll use an example. Like, say somebody posts a great turn set and they get 9,000 views or something. I think that could build their confidence.
But within that, they're going to also get a lot of like your releve is low, you're not blah, blah, blah. You get a lot of that too. And so I think getting kids to handle that is really hard.
For your team, it could highlight your hard work. It could highlight your camaraderie. It could maybe attract opportunities. I don't know. Maybe. It
could. I mean, I feel like right now too, another thing that's hard is kids that are trying to get on college dance teams, like their social media presence is important. Like I know a lot of colleges that say include your Instagram handle, include your TikTok handle, because they want to see your dance videos. So if you're not posting dance videos, that can hurt you. So it's so hard because it's like on one hand, I'm like, don't do it. You don't need all this social media stuff. But then on the other hand, it's like you kind of do. So it's a really catch-22, you know?
This episode is sponsored by the T-Hive and Move You. At T-Hive, we don't just provide custom designs, we personalize them to suit your needs. Whether you need tablecloths, banners, t-shirts, dye sublimation, sweatshirts, jackets, or warm-ups, we can create them for you. Your dancers will be thrilled with our latest dance designs, or we can bring your custom logo to life. Check us out at the T-Hive and Move You.
Okay, what do you think about posting team achievements? And
I think it's okay, but I think, you know, it's like you got to kind of watch it.
Yeah, I think sometimes I get worried when our parents post a lot of public things, and
I don't worry as much about parents because the only people following the parents most of the time are other parents. It's not really people from like, I mean, I think you get worried about it in the sense of like, is it going to make another parent feel bad, another kid feel bad when their kid does individual things? Yeah, I think it's a little unnecessary.
Like I hate it. Like, oh, my kid made varsity, that kind of stuff. And then the people that don't, or, you know, look at my child, I worry about that. So how do you address monitoring without policing? Do you have any ideas? Putting you on the spot.
I think you got to just trust the kids, you know, and like, then when something comes about, you deal with it. But like, I don't sit and scour their accounts. Like I follow the ones when I can, but like.
I think maybe talking about it more often is what I'm going to start doing. Just have those reminders that, you know, encourage self-awareness and team accountability, and just talk about all the stuff we talked about. Okay. And maybe create a space where they can start asking for a while, is this okay to post?
Yeah. I mean, if they feel comfortable to talk to you about it, great.
Yeah. Or you could do it in a group. Is this okay to post? And let them talk. What would be a thing that's not okay to post? What would be a thing that's okay to post?
I just think open communication and conversation is really important. And I think treating your athletes with respect. Like I think there's a lot of coaches out there in the world that, I don't want to use the word belittle, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Making kids feel like they're not adults when I feel like they need to feel, you know, like.
Yeah, it's hard.
They are
a hard line.
Yes, they're in that space where like they feel older. And I think, you know, like I remember being that age too. You don't want to be treated like a little kid. Right. And I think that makes a big difference. Like treat them with respect because they are people. And I think, you know, our whole job as coaches is to guide them and help them become good people. And you're not going to be able to do that if you are condescending and treat them like.
Right.
So
you can't overreact to the team or publicly, you know, and one of the best things I know one of our ADs, I've been through 4 of them, always would say to the kids, like say they got caught drinking or something, you know, don't let this define you. This isn't a defining moment for you. It's a mistake you made. Now let's not let this define you. And I think as a coach, yeah, it was Charlie. I think we need to let kids realize that. But you also have to teach them to take responsibility and to remove the content immediately if
which we've done that. We've messaged kids and been like, yo, take that down. Not okay.
Not okay. And also to publicly apologize to the team or to the person that they perhaps hurt or slammed or whatever it is. If it's necessary, I think having them do an apology. So just remember, social media is a tool. It's not the enemy. It can feel like it sometimes, but remember to educate your athletes, and that will help prevent problems. And the goal is to protect your athletes, protect your team, and build long team character. Anything you want to add?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we covered it pretty well.
I'm trying to think
I didn't mean to put
anything.
you on the spot, but it was just something that was on our mind today. So we thought, hey, let's do this as a podcast. So we'll see you next time, and good luck handling your social media in this busy season of dance.
We make the rhythm, we coach, we create, we lead the scene. team.